All right, everybody, welcome to another Friday night YouTube podcast show. Everybody, please bear with me. Nikki was just with me. She was sharing this around, and I definitely would advise you if you are able to do the same thing. Hold on. There we go. I had music playing in my ear, but anyway. All right, let's let the audience build up here a little bit. Hopefully, everyone can hear me okay. All right. Hold on here. Let's see. Nikki messaged me. What did Nikki say?
Okay, I'm
Oh, she had
back.
a. Oh, there she is.
I'm back. I'm
Okay.
back. Yeah,
I
I
was
don't
just now
know.
reading your message. Okay.
It
All
just
right.
bumped me right out of there, and then I couldn't do anything.
Ah, okay. Well, I went. We are live right now. So I went live
Okay.
to let the audience help build up. So
Okay. So let me get onto
and
the chat. And
yes, it's blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the only ones on there right now. Okay, there we go. The viewers are slowly jumping up there since I went live. So um, all right, hold on. Let's see. All right, we got Sam with us. Okay,
What
so
up?
how you doing, Sam?
hi, Sam.
Hey guys, how we doing this on this lovely evening?
Oh, not too bad. Is it raining down your way, Sam?
No,
Uh oh, sorry. That was
No,
me.
no.
you're fine, Nikki. I know I do the same thing. People think you're getting feedback. I said no, it's just me on my other device.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the only way I can watch the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I have a second window opened up. That's why, like,
Yeah.
if somebody else pops on here, I don't always see them unless I jump back over. But
Oh, there's Jimmy. Jimmy boy's on.
okay,
I'm gonna
so
come
all
outside
right.
here. It's about 70 degrees down here, Daniel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been raining since around noontime, 11:30 noon until noontime today. So yeah,
Yeah.
it got a little heavier earlier, but then it's been mainly a steady rain to a slow down to a light rain and yeah, it's more of a light drizzle at the moment. So, but I think actually no, actually at this very moment, I think it kind of let up. It's finally stopped. So yeah, we've
Yeah.
had rain here and there all day up this way.
We're supposed to get really bad storms on Sunday. I've got to work
Right.
all I got to work all day tomorrow, which is unusual for me on the weekend, but we're going to try to go up to the cabin tomorrow night near it. Now, we're not going to go to the cabin. Let me rephrase that. We're going to go somewhere pretty close to it, a couple miles away. And going to see if we can do some yells. There's a good point where it travels out through the valley pretty good. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. That should be interesting. Um. Oh wow. Okay. My computer must be slow. It's just now jumping up because it went from it just went from like 6 viewers up to 13
Whoa.
all of a
Now,
sudden.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now I see it.
It's
It
actually jumping up there now. 14 now.
it's probably just the system because it happened here too.
Oh, okay. All right. We got a Dinopod 65.
Oh, thank you for the sub. Even though I haven't done any videos, because now you have to have over 1,000 to do any lives. So
Ah, yes. Oh, wait, is it 1,000? I thought it was at least
yeah.
100.
Well, it was 100, and then last week they changed it to 1,000 to do anything live on your mobile devices. You can do lives on your computers.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right. Hey, cool. We got Sam Thomas with us. All right. Great. All right. Stephen Moore, Viper Getty, and B. All right. Yeah, because we had Cindy, Beelan, Jimmy. Oh, look, there's a Nikki Cologne on the live chat. Cool. Uh, not sure, not sure who she is, but oh well.
Yeah. Oh well.
All right. Let's see. Dinobot said, "I'm in a Bigfoot mood. I just got done watching a 2.5 hour long documentary on Bigfoot, and I'll watch Harry and the Hendersons. Then he goes on to say, "What's up?" All right.
Hey, I picked up a movie the other day for just $1, and it's called Sasquatch Hunters. I haven't watched it
Oh,
yet.
how?
Huh.
What does it? What's the date on it?
Hold on a second. Let me turn the light on.
Trying to think if it's something I'm familiar with or not.
Let's see. The date is I don't know, Daniel. Don't know. I don't see it. Oh wait,
Oh, okay.
2000 looks like 2005. Is that what that says? The date down the bottom there. I know it's so small. Yeah, I think it's 2005.
Huh.
Yep, 2005. And it's about these it's one of the world's deadliest beasts is brought to life in this terrifying tale of Sasquatch hunters who are out to confirm the existence of an ancient primate. Two two paleontology professors, a graduate student, and four forest rangers head out into the remote woods of the Pacific Northwest, hoping to find evidence of a large creature that once existed in China. As the group makes its way deeper and deeper in the woods, they come upon a discovery that far exceeds their expectations. Some sort of graveyard that shows evidence of an enormous creature, but they have disturbed something that they never should have seen, and suddenly a vicious killer is hunting the team, one by one.
Hmm.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does. It is interesting.
But
Huh.
they're all like that, and then you go and
Yeah.
watch them, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
I know, right? Yeah.
My pinky could act better than that.
Rawr. Oh man. Oh wait a minute. Oh, that's why Taylor and Tate can't come on tonight. They're out eating and at the movies.
Who?
Well,
Taylor?
yeah.
Oh, eating and at the
Sorry.
movies.
I'm
Oh, okay, I see it now.
sorry. I'm going to the movies tomorrow. I'm going to see Shazam. Yeah.
I want to go. I want to watch
Oh.
that new animation about Bigfoot, Missing Link.
Link.
Yeah,
Yeah, my daughter wants to too.
Huh.
I think that'll be neat.
Let's see what else I got here.
Shazam.
Hold
I
on.
used to watch that when it was the TV show in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I liked your question that you posed earlier today about what the possibility is of a
Oh,
certain
talking
age.
about
Yeah.
well, I felt that it was important to address that because somebody there's little things that people keep asking me, and I was like, okay, hey, this is a good question. Let me get the people's response on this. I'm not gonna, it's like I decided to, leave my opinion alone for a little while, and if somebody asks me for my opinion, I'll be more than glad to share it. So I decided to start getting the people's opinion, and that's why I posted that that poll, whatever, on so but yeah, for our listeners on the live chat, yeah, actually, I thank you, Zach, for bringing that up. I'll address it. I'll ask that question and see what kind of feedback we get on the live chat on that. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are listening, um, just probably about an hour or so ago, a couple hours ago, I posted a question on Facebook. Some of you may already have seen it and viewed it, but I want to get all y'all's opinion, and I'll get the podcast the panel's opinion here too shortly. But what's your opinion, or what do you believe is the life expectancy of a Sasquatch? In other words, how long do you believe they live? So, so there you go. There's a question. How long do you believe a Sasquatch lives? And we'll be watching the live chat, and And with that question being asked, I can go ahead and start with the live on the panel until we get some answers on the. There, I'll start with you, Sam. What do you think? What, in your opinion, how long do you believe?
Well, I had stated earlier that uh, nobody really knows. Um, my opinion is, along the lines of maybe 30 to 40 years. And the reason here's the reason I believe that. If these creatures are proven to exist, I feel like that they are a family-based type group of creatures that may, let's say, run in a pack, or some say clan, some say family. But I think that over time, as such as the gorillas, I think there has to be an alpha male. So I think that the alpha male, I think the alpha male of the group will finally meet its demise at around the age of 40, when the stronger younger male comes in to take the. Now that's just my opinion. Um,
Right.
that's what I think. So I'm thinking, 30 to 40 years, but like I say, who knows?
Huh. Oh yeah, that's fair. That's a fair response. Um, Nikki, what do you think?
I think I marked down the 60 to 80. Is that what you had on
Okay.
that first one?
Yeah, that was one
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
I but I don't really know either. I just know that I was basing my thoughts on age according to what a typical primate ape would live in captivity, you
Right.
know, which they live a little bit longer in captivity because we're taking care of them. In the wild, I don't think that it would be as high, you know,
Well, yeah.
because they're more susceptible to diseases and they can't, stuff like that. But then you're going to have people saying, well, they heal themselves, or they have all these wild herbs and they know how to mix them just right so that they can cure themselves of illnesses. So we don't know all that. There's a lot of factors that go into determining the age. And just like Taylor said on the live, I don't think they get over, well, very much over 100. I
Yeah.
think it'd be closer to what a regular human being age would be.
Now, let me jump in there, having before you get on there, Daniel. Having that said, that brought me up to something there, Nikki.
Uh-huh.
Good valid points there. On one of the eyewitness accounts that a man gave me, he had stated that his sighting, the creature was old, yet it still looked like it had, muscle, but yet the hair was white, the skin kind of looked a little loose, but yet still he could tell, what it was. Now, what age that would have been, I don't know, but I kind of base mine on maybe a hybrid of human slash ape, of the longevity of us, maybe. I don't know, I don't know. I just kind of thought that.
Well, now you just described when you said the hair was white, the skin was loose. You just described the average male in the nursing home, but not just.
I mean, seriously. But yet, when that person described it to me, they said, but you could see the muscle definition. But I thought that the creature was old just by the way it looked.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I was just picking, but yeah, I've always
Oh yeah, I
often
know.
wondered myself about when somebody reports seeing a white or grayish color Sasquatch, because those are not often, those are very not, they're not really common reports. Most of the time you hear about brown, reddish brown, or black, and then yeah, but the reported white ones or gray ones, to me, those are very rare. So it makes me wonder. Yeah, maybe they are the older ones. Um, so yeah, everybody, addressed some pretty good, you know, uh, some good responses on that.
I think they would
And like
show
some of you guys,
gray for sure. I think the older
yeah,
they get, the grayer the hair would get, just like any other animals. I mean, I know even our other dog that we had, as she got older, she was having gray hairs. She went from almost
yeah,
being black to being completely salt and pepper, by the end of her life. So,
right. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people come back and believe their average lifespan is equal to a gorilla, which is 35 to 40 years. Uh, now, a chimpanzee is lives up to 50 years old. Now, like you said, now that's in the wild. Now we do have it has been reported that there's some that I believe got into the 60s and 70s, and those are the ones that were in captivity. So I can't remember specific details, but there has been some that lived to be fairly old. And like yeah, like you said, in captivity. So um, there's something I'm trying to find here while I'm talking, but. Oh yeah, Taylor said he's ready for June 8th and then June 29th. At least somebody is. No, I'm just. uh, okay, yeah, because on my toll I had the first one I had 60 to 80. Actually, hold on, I gotta look at it. Yeah, it went out of order because of the way it's being ranked. Yeah, I have 60 to 80, 80 to 100, and then 100 and beyond. Now, 80 to 100 and 100 and beyond both only got 6 votes. So as thus far, 60 to 80 had 15 votes.
Hmm.
And then 20 to 50 years, somebody else added that for 2 votes on that one. So that I thought was interesting. So
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
now,
Oh.
okay, so are a lot of people are depends on how everybody looks at this. Sasquatch. What is Sasquatch? Is he human? Is he Neanderthal? Is he a human hybrid? I mean, these are questions that we don't have answers to. But
Right.
we're gonna entertain the
Ouch.
thought of what if he's this. So that's why I created this post the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Says Bigfoot, ape, human, and Neanderthal? Question mark. Okay. And for those on the live chat who haven't seen my post, I'll go ahead and read it off here. And and let's see. Let me make sure I line it up right so I can scroll on it because I'm looking at it through my phone. All right, so it goes as this. All right, so let's look at this scientifically. First of all, we have people who do not consider or believe Bigfoot to be any form of ape or primate at all. And then I go on to say, personally, I do, as I have often explained in the past, for various reasons, simply based on my research and my own conclusions. Now, are many people contradict themselves, or are they just not understanding or familiar with the world of science? And if we even dare entertain the thought of evolution, well, ladies and gents, what does science say about us humans? It goes on to say humans are apes, great apes. Humans are classified into subgroup of primates known as the great apes.
Mm-hmm.
Humans are primates, but
Mm-hmm.
the primates that we most closely resemble are the apes. We are therefore classified along with all other apes in a primate subgroup known as the hominoids superfamily Hominoidea. Second matter I wanted to make mention of is the Neanderthal. All right, they are considered to be a separate. They are considered to be separate from us as a subspecies or less evolved being. Regardless of who and what they are, I personally believe them to be of the human race. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were known to interbreed with modern human, as science mentions, and and I go on to say only a seed within its own kind can match or breed or become successful through that productivity. All right, now I go on to as I go on to mention here in Eurasia, interbreeding between Neanderthals and Denisovans with modern humans took place several times. The integration events into the modern humans is estimated to have happened 47,000 to 65,000 years ago with the Neanderthal, and about 44,000 to 54,000 years ago with Denisovans.
Hmm.
And for the record, the number, I don't quite agree with those numbers because that's science numbers. So there's some things with science I don't totally agree with. I don't believe the world's that old, but that's my opinion. So, but now this would suggest a hybrid species today among us in society. But no, it's not mentioned, nor is it classified. Neanderthal DNA testing or results did not occur until the early 2000s, and I even shared a link in there for a reference point for somebody that's curious to check into that concerning when that first started about. So then I go on to say, if my point is not clear or understood, I do apologize. So, all right. So, and then blah blah blah. I felt that was something I felt that was important to address. Now, there's some more information which I'm going to share later as I look into because Jen Cruz, man, she shared some awesome. If you anyone who watches the post and the comments that get added to that,
Mm-hmm.
there's some interesting stuff that Jen Cruz actually shared, and that actually, well, not completely, but it does support my thought on Neanderthal being of the human race. There's some there's been other studies and other things that I was not quite aware of. So, um, all right. So hold on. So yeah, as far as that goes, I wanted to share that little bit of information from my post and blah blah blah. Oh, Poker Player said they messaged you,
Yeah, I know.
Nikki, on Facebook.
I've got a bunch of things up right now. I can't keep up.
Let's see. All right. Oh, here's something interesting. Donald Boss says, I don't think that Sasquatch is a type of human species, whether that to be known from fossil and thought to be extinct, such as Homo heidelbergensis. If I get tongue tied trying to say that, I think I said it close enough. Which
Heidelbergensis. It's called
yeah.
Heidelbergensis.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Which was a tall relative of ours at about 7 foot tall. Ah, good information. Only people see that's interesting because only people that follow and listen to science, so I guess would know that stuff. So I guess I don't follow it enough. So that's why I use science and but not to a full extent because there's I do have some disagreements with certain parts of science. Um, but that's a small factor. That's not But I like to take
Well,
advantage of using science to my benefit, or whatever how you want to put that with. So
well, there's just so many different researchers, um, scientists out there, primatologists, archaeologists that are discovering these things, and they're not just in one area. They're China. They're
oh
in
yeah.
Peru. There's so many different projects going on right now that it's kind of hard to keep up with them all.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always discovering new things in caves and a skull in that cave and something
Mm-hmm.
else, you know. So it's evolving. It's constantly our evolutionary ladder is always evolving because they're finding more pieces to the ladder.
Oh yeah, it's no longer a human tree. It's a
It,
bush now. It's
yeah,
becoming a bush. I mean, it really is.
Well, have
so
you guys seen the newest discovery that's been posted and shared all over
yeah,
now?
the
The new
teeth
one
one.
from yep, with a part of
Yeah.
the jawbone, from
Mm-hmm.
a jawbone with the teeth still intact, and from the Philippines. So
Well, there you go,
There you
Philippines.
go. Yeah.
yeah, yep.
Exactly.
So I don't
Wow.
know. So here's a question. I don't know. Like I said, when it comes to science, well, maybe I should be more specific. Evolution. I evolution. I try to be careful when sharing or using the word evolution in anything I talk about because I don't agree with the word evolution. I believe in adaptation, but now the thing is, we have all these. fossilizations, all these different what they believe to be this and that we okay, it's part of the evolutionary tree. This is all we evolved from. We went from this to this, and I mean, why can't science just accept that? Hey, all these separate species just existed. They were all their own thing, and there was it's just they just died out. Like for example, I know this sound is not quite the same, but what if the whole Benoit clan just died out? Okay, they once existed, but they died out. They're not going to evolve into something else later on. They just happen to die out. Why can't science just say that's what happened? It's like
because that's not the way science runs. Science runs with, okay, they died out. Why they die out? Did they really die out? Is there a family hiding in a cave somewhere?
yeah,
There, it's never solid, because you have to be able to prove something over and over and over again for it to become a fact.
right,
Different people have to be able to take whatever you have and go and repeat it.
yeah,
So that's where, like all the DNA stuff comes out, because then you have to be able to repeat it and get the same findings over and over.
right,
And, we're always going to run into the problem of DNA being considered uh, contaminated, because we are human. So it's always going
right.
to, and if they're human, then we're never going to know without a body. So it's really a dead end.
Yep.
They're human, we're human. So we're just not going to have that completely. And maybe the government does have it, maybe they don't. We don't know the
Yeah.
truth. There isn't anybody who knows the truth except for the ones who have them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like Rick Dyer. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
um
Sorry.
so
Hey, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
That one there is okay.
he
But
has, yeah, and he's supposed to be having another thing in September too. So
oh my goodness, yeah.
yeah.
And wait a minute, I thought that was this past year. Is it for 2019?
Yeah, 2019 there's another something
Oh,
coming.
okay.
But
Okay, I guess he's making sure he's having this new one examined properly to make sure all
well, he
the
12, 13,
the
14, 15, 16. Well, he says that they've had the specimen this whole time, and now there's going to be a big conference, what do you call it, press conference in
ah
September on the anniversary of the date that it happened. So
I'm just wondering how much he's invested in and paid tax adjournments this time around.
yeah, I don't
Oh
know, he's
man.
doing pretty well with his car thing. So
Yeah, he is.
Well, I'm sure he's putting aside his profits to do his next
yeah,
big scam.
Where's he going to do that conference?
San
Is it in
Ant-
Texas?
San
Yeah,
Antonio,
that's what I
yeah.
thought. Huh.
Watch when that happens. We'll see Nikki. We'll see Nikki's new picture of with her next to him. Like, look, I'm Rick
I'm
Dyer.
with Rick Dyer. Yeah, no,
Uh,
I wanted to go to Phoenix and see his crap, but I never did get over there.
that's funny.
Oh
But
my.
I never believed he had anything. He was my like Bigfoot soap opera. I just liked to watch the next thing he was coming out of his mouth. you know, I would
Well, I think
never
we are.
ever have given him a dime.
I
Don't
know.
people don't do that. So
Well, we know how.
Why would Biscardi do that? That's just beyond me. I just couldn't
well,
believe it.
yeah, and that was the first one. Was
Yeah, I
Biscardi
know.
went all into it until they drained the damn freezer and had that thing with
Sorry, it's funny.
his tongue all
Yeah,
sticking out,
that's what
and
I'm thinking
oh
about.
my god, that was just horrible.
Oh.
Those
I
were the
needed
good
that.
old days.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Golly.
Nikki, you looked at Rick Dyer. You know how you girls have a crush on those Texan cowboys.
I just like the Wranglers.
Oh, okay.
That's
What, the
funny.
jeans or?
Yes, the jeans, the jeans on the Cowboys. Yeah.
That's
Oh
funny.
man. Shoot, I remember back when I was in middle school, this one girl's like, yeah, she like had this crush on me, and she wanted me to go to some game after school. It was just in middle school too, but she's like, "Could you please wear tight jeans?" I'm
Oh.
like, I'm like, I'm like, bitch, I can't get jeans loose enough because of my junk. No, let me stop. I said, I can't wear no damn tight jeans. I said, I'm hurting now.
Oh God.
I was like, I don't know. Girls just don't understand, you know. Nah, yeah, especially when it comes to certain pants, they got to be loose. I can't wear no tight jeans. But I mean, I don't want them like big and loose and sad, just something loose and comfortable. I like a relaxed fit, uh, hold on, let's check something right here.
Hey, that was my
Uh,
idea, big Bobcat.
wow, what's he talking about?
He says a great idea for a laundromat. Bigfoot
Oh,
soap
Bigfoot
opera.
soap.
Yeah.
Ah, all right. On that note, all right, hold on. But I did listen to this podcast all the time. I can't remember where it came from about the.
Oh, that
Oh.
was Mountain Monsters. That was totally
Oh.
that was totally on Mountain Monsters when they were chasing it around and they seen a fire inside that hole.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? As far as I've had, one thing that Kathy Strain even once mentioned, he says that's the thing. He says, in her opinion, she don't believe they're human either.
Who?
But
Oh.
Kathy Strain,
Oh,
Bob
right.
Strain's, what? Yeah.
Hmm.
But she's
Now,
had a lot of sightings.
oh, she has, but at the same time, I mean, the thing is, this is what gets me. I believe what she shared, the way she shared it. I believe she was serious, and I believe her.
I believe her.
Just because, well, it's because her credibility, what builds her credibility is she's very objective too.
Yeah.
She's not the type that goes along with any evidence. It's got to be concrete. It's got to be
Right.
legit. And then as far as Bigfoot, especially for her background, her reputation as what she does for a living, being an archaeologist, and and all the above. Um, she you know, I'm trying to think. She once stated that if Sasquatch was human, you would figure they would have enough intelligence to be building fires, you know, and maybe more. But we don't have evidence of that kind of thing. We never, if Bigfoot had fires, do they know the safety of? Maybe we would have more forest fires, and then I don't know. I forget. She pulled up a lot of stuff that actually she raised some very good points. Um, anybody that actually wants to check that out, she did say some really great stuff on there. It's actually on my list of videos. But look up Kathy Strain, and she was a great interview. We had her on. That was actually Squatch Zone Radio. So yeah, we had her on the radio show program, and I wish I got uploaded on here. So um, see, Dino is another two. Okay, I'm not really keeping up with the live chat. I'm just reading every now and then. I'll look over there and read random things. If you guys have questions, please throw the questions out there and keep them in capitalize. That way, it'll help us, um, find the questions and to address them. So, let's see.
Well,
I'm kind
the
of
whole
my mind.
idea. Sorry,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. No, you're
No,
good.
well, the chat they're talking about the whole thing about fire. Still,
Oh,
and well, we don't know have if any nobody's sat there seen a Bigfoot start the fire. So how do you know
right.
he started the fire?
Is
Even if
that
you're
well?
out in
Yeah.
the boonies, it doesn't mean he started the fire. So, oh, there goes my phone. So it could be a person. We don't know. If you're there, then another person can be there. That's always
Yeah.
been my thought. People always say, I'm out here and I'm 20 miles deep and nobody gets out here. Well, you're there. you
Exactly.
know,
Exactly.
that's always been the first thing that comes to my mind. If you're there, anybody can be there.
Exactly. I know I've said that too. Not as much as I should point that out, but you know, because where I go, I like to believe. All right, first of all, when you get out, when you're driving down the forest road, and you're into this location, you're like, man, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Now I get to go. You're already in the middle of nowhere, and then you get out of your vehicle, and then you go trek in, 5 to 10 miles into the woods. I was like, golly, I'm in here pretty deep. 5 to 10 miles, that's a long ways. I've hiked on trails that are, 5 miles alone in the woods. On foot. That's a long hike, especially in the woods. It's not like you're on a road walking a straight line, or whatever. Going through the woods, going through different obstacles and terrain. 5 miles on, that's a different story. It's a longer than what people realize if they're not familiar with hiking. So, but I've put some miles on my feet in the woods, and but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I've gone out there and I've come across things. Here I am. I'm thinking, oh man, I'm out here. I'm out here, and I just start looking around. I said, oh dude, look at that old beer bottle. Yeah, and you're out here in the middle of nowhere. There's a beer bottle out here. Squatch is either getting drunk or Squatch stole somebody a camper's cooler at one point. So, but yeah, that's a good point though. I mean, you get out there in the middle of nowhere, and you think you're out there where no one else has been, but there's evidence all around you if people open their eyes and look around. you know. But
Yeah.
uh, man, I got to come out of my hoodie. It's actually I don't know why I'm wearing not a hoodie, but my sweater. It's warm.
Bye,
Oh,
Jimmy.
Jimmy's jumping off. All right.
Yeah.
You have a good night, Jimmy. Um. Okay. Now let's see here. All right, Dinobot. That's actually a very good one. He's asking, did you know that gorillas use their awful smells for communication purposes by secreting urine like sweat through their skin? Do you think that's the reason Sasquatches are usually reported to smell? You know what? That's a very good question, and in my opinion, why not? There's another good possibility that you could compare and relate. Everyone's always talking about a stinky Sasquatch. Oh, I smelled the Sasquatch. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they claim to smell a Sasquatch, but yet never see him. So, oh yeah, he was there. I smelled him. How do you
Mm-hmm.
know? It could have been your own damn pants. But you know,
Well, there's
but
a lot of smells out in the forest. I mean, there's death
oh
and dying
yeah.
stuff and rotting stuff, and
Well,
it's
see, the
just
thing is,
hard
that's the
to
thing.
tell.
A damp, rotted log that'll put out a smell that makes it smell like almost like dog poop. You know, you know, I know that sounds crazy, but rotten wood does smell, and it depends on the type of wood it is as well. So that's something people need to consider and look into as well. Hey, if you guys want to continue chatting or bring anything up, I gotta put my headset down for a second. So give me about a minute.
Okay.
I'll be right back. All right.
Okay. 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 Sukalo means hello. I mean, you no harm. I don't know what you're talking about, Bobcat. Anyway, yeah, they have scent glands. Maybe it's just a female thing. Maybe it's just the male thing to get females. Maybe it's a female on her cycle. We just don't know. There's so many things that can be associated with a smell or a stench that comes from an animal. And I don't I think the only way of knowing that is once we have one, to really find that answer out.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
It's going to take a body.
Yeah.
And I've got my lines with Grover Krantz, and it's going to take that one body to prove it. Then you make it to where it's illegal to kill one,
Yeah.
so they don't go extinct.
Yeah. The best scenario is if somebody just came up upon one, that had
Mm-hmm.
just passed. And
Yeah. Yeah.
but If they take the bodies and they bury them right away, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to do that.
True. True.
And there's no way a person can just pick up a body and take it.
Mm-mm.
You know, because I remember that was one of the questions we brought up on one of the podcasts was, what would you do if you were hiking and you came up upon a Sasquatch body? What would you do?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, who would you go to that you could trust? Because
Uh-huh.
my fear would be going to jail or just being done with, period. You know what I mean? Just,
Yeah.
hey, we can keep his mouth shut forever. But I don't know. I mean, I would definitely go to a news source. That would be me. And
Hmm.
then
Yeah, but how would you prove it? What would be your method of
well,
proving that it happened?
yeah. So, if I came across it hiking, and
Yeah.
hopefully I'd have somebody with me, or a couple
No,
people.
no, you got to be by yourself. That's the
Oh,
whole
okay.
deal.
Oh,
You're
okay.
all by
Yeah.
yourself because
Yeah.
what would
Well,
you
I
do?
mean,
How would you
oh,
secure
well, I mean,
parts?
first you would have to, I always keep gloves with me. So you'd have to take some evidence, cut something off of the creature.
Yeah.
Plenty of pictures. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
hate to say it, but that's how you do it. That's how you prove a creature exists. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's the
Yeah.
only way you can prove a creature exists scientifically, that
Well,
is.
Sam, you just said the correct thing. You're absolutely correct. I'm glad I jumped on you. You guys are talking about some good stuff. Um, yeah, because one of the people when we had Doctor Haskell Hart on here discussing the Melvin Ketchum deal a few years ago, um, he had said, we had questioned him about the same exact thing, and he said exactly, basically what you said out of your own mouth. Is yeah, if we come across a body, and how we gonna? He says you want to document everything about it, film it, photo it, film yourself collecting the evidence from that specimen, from that body, you know, and yeah, you want to document and film everything you can about that. Collect all the evidence you can. Where evidence, where DNA is going to mostly, set up at. The best, hair, fingernails. Some people said just cut off the whole finger.
Well, you know what I always said, because in my backpack I always carried one of those garbage bags. I would take
Yeah,
the head, a hand, and a foot.
yeah. What if the
That's
head
what
weighs
I would
like
do.
50 pounds? That's it.
Yeah, but I could easily pack out a 50-pound head. I'm serious. I can.
That's funny. Uh-oh,
Yeah,
you can.
I
What? Is
can.
there something we
That
don't
is a
know?
fact. That is a fact. I can do that.
Oh
Oh
Lord.
man,
The
That is
tech
a fact.
the Texan mob.
I can
I
pack
was gonna
that
ask
sucker
you.
out. And then hope that the Sasquatch there watching me do it don't kill me in the process.
so So you go up to a science lab and you got this trash bag. You're holding it out in front of the
Yep.
these bunch of professors. Then you tell them what you got there. And then what if they ask you, Nikki?
No,
Give me.
that sucker's coming to my house in the freezer, and then I would be calling Sarmiento and Meldrum and a couple of other people I know on the West Coast.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say
And
something. I decided I'm not gonna say it because I don't know. Somebody might get the wrong idea and take it the wrong way on the live chat, so I won't.
Well,
um,
Peter Kane has already beat us to that. He has
I
a
know he does
Bigfoot.
that. Hey, he got all kinds of shit in his freezer, so
He
I can do
does.
it. I got a big old freezer in the garage.
I love that guy. He's hilarious.
um,
Uh,
that's what I would do. I would contact them, and you want to think that they wouldn't come. They would come if I shared pictures just to them. They're probably the few people that I would trust before even before the news.
so yeah, call Meldrum first.
But I
I'm
would
sure he has
definitely have
protocol.
all kinds of my pictures and everything on thumb drives, And I would have those with my secure people, different family members, in case anything happened to me, type of thing. I think you'd have to take it that far, to protect myself,
Well, I
that
mean,
I
you're
would have to have
you're
that stuff
yeah, you're
secured.
making the biggest discovery in, I mean, a long, long time. You'd have to take those
Right,
precautions.
right.
Yeah, I think
So,
I just had a message from KB from RIP Paranormal Talk Radio. KB from RIP Paranormal Radio. I think he wants me to jump on his radio show tonight.
uh-oh.
Yeah, they go live every Friday night at 10 o'clock. So
There
so
you go.
yeah. I told him, I said, I'm currently on a live podcast show right now because he wanted me to give him a call too. So I can't do it right now. So
Dinobot says, Nikki, you scare me sometimes.
That's funny.
hold on a second.
How fast can vultures eat a moose? Probably pretty fast, because you don't just
Mm-hmm.
have one vulture. They
Yeah, you
There's,
have several
they
dozens.
swarm. Yeah.
yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Hold on.
How aware do you think they are about cameras and audio recorders within camp perimeter? Probably pretty aware. I mean, that
Well,
seems to be the consensus with most people, that they can see all these game cameras and won't come around if you've got a camera. And
I will say this on my opinion, on my half. I'm not going to deny that they don't know because other wildlife knows.
yeah, you see the deer looking right in the thing,
Mm-hmm.
Now,
all the time.
one of the trail cameras I'm currently using, it's one's mine, one that actually belongs to my parents, but they're letting me use it too. Because the more I have out there, the better chance I have of catching other stuff. But I was watching the one; it was the one that belongs to my parents, and I had it. There was an uprooted tree, and the tree roots created this little tight little burrow where I tucked the trail cam up underneath of it, overlooking this opening out in the middle of the woods, and it was well blended in. But I had a deer that was right in front of it, just eating the grass and eating, and all of a sudden it looked up, and all of a sudden it either saw the infrared go off or it heard a click, and all of a sudden from out of nowhere, boom! It jetted. It looked up, and then something caught its attention, and it took off like hell.
Huh.
Um, so yeah, I mean it's a wildlife deer. I know I've had multiple deer look into my in my cameras before. Bear, I have looked into them and messed with them. So few other hunters have come across and noticed them. So why not Sasquatch? Can't So yeah, anything with a set of eyes will see your cameras. Now knowing what they are, that's a different question. So.
Yeah. I want to say hi to my sister. She just came on the chat.
Is that her, Suzanne?
Suzanne? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's my sister.
Okay.
She's not allowed to tell you any stories.
No. You might have to jump on here and spill the beans.
I'm sure she has lots of stories.
Hey guys, right. I've got to jump off here and go get my daughter. I just wanted to thank both of y'all tonight for letting me join in.
Yeah.
It was a great discussion, great topics. I hope that our viewers learned something this evening, at least take something home with them tonight, and I hope they can join us again next Friday.
Oh, sure yes, thing. Absolutely. Well, we get a lot of positive feedback from our shows. A lot of people love the way we are open with our discussions and how we, keep an open mind. And at the same time, we are objective on a lot of things, and that's the way it goes. So.
Yep. Well, good luck, guys, and enjoy the rest of the night tonight, and I'll talk with you guys tomorrow.
Bye, Sam.
Absolutely.
Right,
you have a good night, Sam.
You too, guys. Bye-bye.
Nikki, I have to put you on the spot for a little bit here.
Okay.
Um, would you mind holding down the fort for a couple minutes?
No,
I
I
have to.
got.
Okay, because I
Go
see there's
ahead.
some stuff on the live chat. The Dinobot just asked a question.
Where'd he
So,
go?
ladies and gentlemen, draw your attention to Miss Nikki Cologne. If you have any questions, she will carry this on. I'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. So next up, what? Let's see what Dino has to say. What do you think is the most interesting thing about what we know or we theoretically know about the Sasquatch's anatomy? Shorter, longer feet, mid tarsal break. So overall, what we know. So what we know is what people have described, and they almost all, are a little bit different, and especially in different geographical areas. So we know that in Florida, where they call them the skunk ape, that they tend to be a little browner, reddish brown, with longer hair and a little bit shorter, but they all have the long arms. Some have the conical head, some don't. And a lot of reports in that area claim that they look a lot like orangutans. So, but then if you go uh, up the coast, East Coast, you can have a wide variety, all the way from 6 to maybe 10, 11 feet tall, and a little bit shorter hair, darker in color, all the way from the dark blacks and browns. Um, and again, with either the dark face, like an ape, or a human looking face with less hair. The same in Arizona. There has been sightings of a clan that had very, very human looking um, faces with very light toned brown hair. And Mitchell Waite used to call them, what did he used to call them? Um, oh my gosh, it slipped my mind. But he also had the other group that he used to watch that were darker in color, had more ape-like features, a little bit sharper teeth, I think, and he called them the meat eaters, and they were mean. And I remember in one of his videos, it growled at him, and you can hear the growl coming from the tree. And I think that is, I can see it in the tree personally, but um, that just depends on who's watching the video. Uh, so longer feet. I think they're like humans. I mean, each individual Sasquatch is going to be a little bit different. Some are going to have longer feet, fatter feet, little toes, big toes. It's just each is going to have its own signature, is what it seems to be. Um, something tonight, all right? Disturbing things about Nikki. Good night, Sam. Dino. Hi, Nikki. How's the new job? My new job is going great. My feet really, really hurt, but my new job is going really good, and they're getting better and better. After a four days in a row, though, I if when I come home and sit down, it's like that's it. I'm done for like the day. Oh, Nikki. They have big feet. Yeah, that's why they call them big feet. Bigfoot. Big feet. They call them big feet. In my world, it's one Bigfoot or it's Sasquatch for many. That's how I kind of determine that. Yep. Yep. Individuals. Do Bigfoot usually have the whites of their eyes showing? I think that's different too. There's been reports of some seeing whites and some not. I happen to think, in my opinion, they're like a dog's eyes, where it looks like they're dark, but if you notice a dog look off to the side, you can see the white, on the corners. But if they're looking straight ahead, it appears that the whole front of the eyeball is dark. But I don't think the whole eye is black. I mean, that just biologically doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. So, tall ones. I'm in love with a female squatch. Her name is Big Red. Bobcat. Nikki, some have only 4 toes. Well, some people only have 4 toes. Did they get them chopped off? Did it happen in birth? Is it just a mutation? Think of this. There's that group of people who have the claw hands, that look like this. What do they call them? Lobster hands or crab? I can't remember, but it's a whole genetic trait, and the father can pass it down to his kids. And there has been known to be families of these claw hands. I mean, it could be something like that in regards to missing toes or digits or whatever. But then you also have where you're seeing the three-toed, like in Louisiana and the swamp areas, where now you're getting into the dogman territory or the rougarou. I mean, so many different things. What's next? Maybe someone shot. Oh, yeah, maybe somebody shot the toe off. I've asked a question before, but I forgot what your opinion was about the subject, Nikki. How many Sasquatch do you think live in North America, all the way from northern Alaska to southern Florida? Now, on my opinion, um, Bigfoot Busters was unhidden by B. What happened? Did I miss something when I was talking? I didn't pay attention. Um, B, what is happening? B, are you like blocking everybody? What happened? I I don't know. I think it's a mistake. I think it's all a mistake. B, you hid my sister too. What did you do? I think that was all an accident, guys. Did your button get stuck or something? Who's these? I don't know. No, I got up and oh, her foot deleted y'all. It was an accident, guys. Yeah, I could tell something happened. Sorry, Busters, Bigfoot Busters, and my sister and Will and everybody. I think most of you will come back, will pop back on. I don't know. Sorry, Susie Q. You'll come back up in a minute. Ooh, see, I almost did it too just now.
So okay. Here I come back and you're deleting people and erasing your messages.
No, it's not my fault. It wasn't me. B accidentally did it. How many we were talking about, how many I feel are in the US or North America. And I'm one of the ones who think there's less here in the States, not more. So, and I am one of the few who think there's less in the States. Most people think there's millions or whatever, and I do not think that's the case. So
No, I wouldn't say millions. That's a little too extreme. No, the thing is, I often this I know we've talked about that before. Now I have I still think about that quite a bit because as much as I drive and travel all around the state of Virginia with my job, I drive through some areas that are very squatchy,
Uh-huh.
and I also come across areas like I drive through areas where I know there's been reports and sightings, and driving along the mountainside in a lot of these areas, I'm always looking in the woods when I drive. I know I should keep my eyes on the road, but you can't help but look at the scenery. It's beautiful, breathtaking, and and then you might just have a chance of seeing something, in some of these areas. And some of the areas, like right now, this time of year, a lot of the foliage and the trees are starting to, sprout again. The leaves are starting to grow back and everything else. And so I take advantage of seeing what's available. Looking in the woods with everything that's open. And you know, if they were that heavily populated, I think we would, more and more people would see them on a normal basis. So with that being said, either we do believe that they're highly intelligent and where they don't like to be seen. They do try to stay hidden. Um, but at the same time, I also try to consider, well, there's areas that we don't get to see. It's not commonly. There's areas where people hike and venture into. Not daily, but on occasions where I do believe they inhabit. But you know, so hold on, excuse me a second. Ah, so I don't think some of these areas that people go into. I believe they're walking into territories, and so um, I do believe that we are watched when we go into the woods. If it's, especially if the area is inhabited. So, but it is really hard to give a number. A
It
number,
is.
it is hard. So
We just don't know. We don't have a census on them, you know.
tell you what, if I could find my book, it was somewhere nearby. I would have loved to give you a quote from Lauren Coleman, and I don't want to try to. Hold on, it might be right here. Right next, yeah. Uh yeah, I got a book right here, and Lauren Coleman gave a good illustration on what he believes. And oh man, I don't know where in the this book has 278 pages. I don't know where he would have, because I read this whole book before. Bigfoot: The True Story of Apes in America by Lauren Coleman, author of Mysterious America. Now he had quoted. He made a statement in his book about, Sasquatch and the population. Uh, man, let's see. Let me see if I could tell you what. Give me a second. I might be able to see if I can find a quote.
I think we totally got rid of my sister.
Oh no.
She says she can't get on anymore.
Man. Right. I don't know if this will work, but I'm gonna try.
Oops. Yep, she gone. Oh gosh. What are you looking up?
I'm trying to see if I can find a quote from Lauren Coleman.
Oh,
Um, because it was something along the lines of, for every so many black bear or so many bears in the country, whatever, it would be one Sasquatch to so many bears, something along that lines. And I like the way he worded it. But
hmm.
hmm.
I would be more inclined to think of to believe in that type of number.
Yeah, it would
then
be because we have a high population of bears in North America,
yeah.
regardless if it's black bear, grizzly, or whatever it is. So, but yeah, I don't like I said, I don't want to quote him without that's why I can't remember what part of the book it's in. Let's see, yeah, when I come across it later, it is in this book. I'm gonna have to read this book later over again, and I will highlight that statement. But it's a very good book. I will throw it out there for those who like to collect Bigfoot books. Yeah, check out Lauren Coleman's big. It's the book's called Bigfoot: The True Story of Apes in America. And this book pretty much it covers a lot of eyewitnesses accounts and descriptions and various locations. So, uh, yep. Hey, chapter 3, Native Traditions. He starts off saying, "Our knowledge of Bigfoot in America begins with Indian tales, folklore, and legend, which demonstrates a prehistoric knowledge of unknown hairy erect primates on the continent. The stories are familiar. Almost 2 centuries ago, native Indonesians passed along elaborate stories of their wild man of the woods, which today we know as orangutans. And Native Africans told of their local monster ape, the Naji or and Njila, that allegedly kidnapped and killed natives, which is recognized by zoology today as the mountain gorilla. So, two, we have lessons to learn from the First Nations of North America about apes still in our midst. Their fantastic tale have an underlying reality that appears to point oftentimes to actual animals.
So
So,
that's Lauren Coleman.
yeah, that's just a small passage in chapter 3.
Yeah.
So, but it's a really great book. But a lot of most of what's shared in here is about different eyewitnesses, descriptions, and stories. It's a really good book. So yeah, like I said, I am going to have to go through this again and read it. So I'll read you the back cover real quick. It's in this fascinating and comprehensive look at the fact, fiction, and fable of the North American Sasquatch, award-winning author Lauren Coleman takes readers on a journey into America's biggest mystery. Could an unrecognized ape be living in our midst? Drawn on over 40 years of investigations, interviews, and fieldwork on these incredible beasts, Coleman explores the modern debates about these powerful ape-like creatures, why they have remained a mystery for so long, and what we can learn about ourselves from these animals, our nearest cousins. From reports of Bigfoot's existence found in ancient Native American traditions to the controversial Patterson Gimlin film of a Bigfoot in the wild. Today's internet sites that record the sightings almost as soon as they occur, Coleman uncovers the past, explains the present, and considers the future of one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the natural world. So, yeah, that was stated on the back cover of the book. So, but yeah, definitely a good book, a very great read. Definitely,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't own it, go ahead and get it. It's a good book and a lot of information in it. So,
We got Yowie
uh,
Quest in the chat.
yeah.
Andrew. Andrew from Down Under.
Oh, good day, Mike. So,
I love watching him walking out there.
okay. I'm not sure if I've seen any of his field videos.
Oh, they're great.
Oh, okay.
Long. He does long ones.
Yeah, there's a young lady from Australia who'll be doing the narration in my documentary that I'll be doing, Miss Bianca.
Bianca.
Uh, yeah, her name's Bianca from Australia. She'll be doing the narration of our Bigfoot documentary. I've had some chats with her, on Facebook. She's a sweetheart. So, um, so what else we got going on here?
How do you guys like to look at the Bigfoot phenomena? Scientifically, spiritually, or biblically?
Hmm, good question. Um, well, overall, I like to look at things scientifically. Um, I don't want to say biblically. I don't think biblically should be. I know a lot of people do. I don't think that should be considered. Unless you look at things like this, and if we do look at it biblically, God created all things, you know. But as far as scientifically, there's another word in there that should be included in there. I think scientifically and more naturally, natural order. Um, you know, I guess
Natural order,
yeah.
biological.
So yeah, I guess that kind of leads into the scientific side of
Yeah, it
things. So
it kind of does.
so
Well, I
yeah, the tall one said factually, which yes, we can, but then again, we got to be careful too. At the same time, what is fact? When it comes to Sasquatch. So that's something we have to be careful about too. Um, like, yeah, as far as a believer and a knower, yeah, I think it's we could say that Sasquatch exists. However, as far as specific claims surrounding Sasquatch, now that's a whole different thing right there. As far as what we could claim related to Sasquatch, how can we make claims that it's I think it's very crucial that we have to be cautious when we make statements about Sasquatch. Are we sharing our opinion or stating a fact? So so um so ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have it marked on your calendar for June 29th in Waynesboro, Virginia. The ECBRO's annual Virginia Bigfoot Conference is taking place at the Best Western Plus, the Inn and Conference Center. So information can be found on Facebook or on our event page, the ECBRO's annual Virginia Bigfoot Conference. So hopefully you share this information and spread the word and come on out with your friends and family. Uh, Hold on. Oh, hey, we got Baltimore with us. Hey, Baltimore.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. And
Good.
Nikki will be right. I guess Nikki will be right back. I just saw her comment. I was looking at the live chat, and she said she dropped off.
Did I miss anything?
Not really. We were just having different discussions on various things and some pretty interesting stuff. Um, just curious, what do you got going on? Anything new with you?
I am going to go camping tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to get my camping, get my gear all ready and everything like that. I'm going to probably work for half a day tomorrow. Get my camping equipment, get my audio equipment, and I'm just going to concentrate right now on audio because
Ah,
it's totally different when you again I've always preached to the choir dealing with what important way to get your resources and get your information and make sure that you basically have the right equipment because at night because you can't take good pictures at night. I'm sorry.
yeah, oh
Um,
yeah,
so the only thing you have to now at night the best thing to do is use get audio and
right.
then to try to figure out exactly what's there. So I'm going to be caught between the paranormal stuff and the Bigfoot stuff there basically at the same time. So there's a lot of legends of the at the Normanna Bridge where they see like a little girl dancing on the bridge, or you can see old ladies walking on the bridge, or stuff like that. Or 1930s, 1940s, they called it Satan's Bridge
ouch.
because you would scream and something big and black would appear. So I'm going to be doing a lot of calls there also at night.
Okay. Now I know you had mentioned that you've been hearing some recent screams and yells from a familiar
Oh
area that you're used
yeah.
to. Yeah, so that'd be awesome to capture something on the audio.
See
Um,
the thing, I would be to be honest with you, stuff like that is that it's gonna be pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie to you because again we just never know what's going to happen there. But I will have protection there when I'm there.
right. That's a good idea. Now, since you joined on, we already have a question for you, Baltimore. Yeah, young gentleman that is asking. He wants to know your views on Sasquatch.
Oh, you know what? I'm that is the I think that's an excellent question. What I think Bigfoot is, or what I think it is.
Yeah.
It's a long time. Well, I'll tell you like I'll try to bring it down a little bit. Native Americans thought that Bigfoot was basically a tribe of man. You know, basically a tribe of people that actually lived to themselves in the woods. And then after that, they always called it, the gardener of the forest, the protector of the forest. He was basically a spirit, a spiritual person there in the woods. Um, for me, I call it like the ninja of the forest.
Right.
Even though he is massive, hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and he is so silent like a ninja in the forest.
Oh
When I
yeah.
heard when I heard my deep breathing sounds, there were millions of leaves on the ground. I mean, millions of them, and I didn't even hear one break or one snap of a twig or anything like that to give me an indication that he was there. But I knew he
Right.
was there because of the sound that I've heard. I mean, super intelligent, and if there was ever a creature as intelligent that we are, that's it.
Yeah, because now I know in a lot of cases, and I like to use bears for example, because I've been pretty close to bears, and bears are like that too. Bears are very stealthy. Um, not I guess not on purpose, but I guess because the padding on their feet, they're very quiet when they walk, and they even when they run. Now, like for example, I had a small bear come out of a tree one time, real close to me. But as soon as it landed, it made that thump, and then when it scurried to get off, when it first ran, you could hear the leaves kick up. But then after that, you didn't hear nothing.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Now, one situation I had right in the same area where we had our encounter in 2014, I was camping. I was the only person on off that over there in that area because there's another camp spot like just 20, 30 yards over. And in the same patch of woods where we had an encounter, I was up over on the corner a little ways. And 10 o'clock at night, I was out there. I shared this before where I had my spotlight in my hand, but I didn't turn it on until I walked out to the middle of the road in the darkness. And as soon as I turned it on and started shining in the woods, you could hear the sound of a small deer take off. Like I spooked a deer that was in the woods right there. I didn't see the deer, but you could hear it run off real quick. Now over to my right, when I scanned to my right, I want to believe this was a Sasquatch, even though I didn't see it. I know this was not a bear, because I know the sounds of walking and bipedalism. And what I heard next was something that was very large and very heavy. But as I must have spooked it. It must have been just inside the tree line where my light caught it, where it's like, crap, I don't want to be here. I can't be seen. It started walking away. And every step it took, you could hear, because I guess all the branches and the limbs on the ground and the leaves, you could hear every step with a crunch, boom, boom, boom. And when I heard the step, I knew there was something big there. And it didn't run off, but it didn't walk off. It was like a like a kind of a steady walk, you know.
Right.
And I was like, and my heart started thumping. It started moving through my chest. I was like, oh! I started walking backwards, literally backwards to my camp, and grabbing my keychain to my button on my blazer, beep beep,
Right.
because I was hunting. I was camping out and hunting, and my shotgun. I had a shotgun, 12 gauge shotgun that was leaning up against the back of my truck. And of course, when I walked backwards, um, I whatchamacallit, when I was walking back, I made the fire bigger and I kept my shotgun close. But I come to realize I was like, if that was a Sasquatch, he didn't want to hurt me. He just didn't want to be bothered. I said if he wanted to come after me, he would have came after me. You know, he was just going away. So,
Yeah, that's the thing. If he really wanted to hurt you, oh, he would.
oh
Because,
yeah,
yeah, if he and if he could sneak up on a deer, if he could sneak up on a hog, I can imagine what he could do to you. And the thing is, again,
oh yeah,
so that's why, you know, there's sometimes also, well, I'm not an expert. Bigfoot never claimed to be.
Yeah.
Because there's also too. There's sometimes also too is, let's say for example, I'm running. If I hear something in front of me, I'm going to be concentrating in front of me, and then even if it's silent, if they're in the woods, this animal is so intelligent that he could be right behind you in the matter of minutes because he's so fast
Yeah.
and quick. I mean, you
Oh
just
yeah.
never know that. So, is also too is everything in the woods is not a Bigfoot. Try to but if you hear something out of the ordinary, a noise or sound or whatever, just concentrate on it and try to figure out what it could possibly be.
Oh
Nowadays,
yeah.
we have the luxury of Wi-Fi and on our phones and where we could eat or Chrome or whatever that we could actually get information on sounds.
Right. We have another question for you, and this is something we were talking about earlier before you came on. And Dinobot65, he had made a good point. Talking about gorillas. Gorillas will use a very foul smell. And it is something they use for communication. So he wants me to ask, what's your opinion as far as since gorillas use their smells for communication? A lot of people like to reported foul smells related to Sasquatch. Now, do you think that could be a form of communication with Sasquatch as well, or could that be just more of their natural body odors, or they're just their natural stinky smells or whatever?
Man, Daniel, I mean, so your people out there really giving some good questions, and that's another good one. If you think about like this, they need a lot of protein for them to survive, and they and so and that deer and for example here in South Texas, deer and the hogs are basically their food supply, and just imagine after eating the deer or something like that, and then if you ever gut shot at a deer and actually smell the intestines to the stomach and everything like that, it's a potent smell. We don't know if it's finished eating something or how long that's actually been on his body. We just don't know these certain things.
Yeah.
Does it bathe? Again, there's questions. There's so many questions out there that we just don't know. And then there's sometimes that I feel that does it have a stink gland? Just like our wild javelinas do out here, or are there some glands that deer have in their feet? Maybe they might have a gland that's pretty smelly. I don't know. So if they use it for communication, I just can't give you an answer to that. I could give you a guess, but it wouldn't be right.
Right. Hmm. Hey, real quick, Nikki, who is that new user that got their comment got deleted? Oh, is Nikki not with us anymore? I thought she was on there.
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I see. I looked at the comment.
I looked
I
away
can
for
still.
a second and it happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think B Lynn caught it. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I was just wondering who that was.
Well, there
So
wouldn't be any way for us to find out if they're using a fake ID. So.
yeah, because we don't want no trouble like that in here. Because I just read the comment. So
Oh, I can view it too.
yeah, it
Oh.
says you can view the deleted comment. Yeah, it has somebody's name in it. Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I don't
Um.
think. Hmm. Okay, well, we'll talk about it later. Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. Uh.
How are you,
Uh.
Baltimore? I didn't get to say hi because I got booted out.
I'm doing good, Nikki, and yourself.
You booted me out when you came in. No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
sorry.
Every time my internet wants to refresh or something, it just takes me all the way out.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. KB on RP Radio.
Oh,
Definitely
is he?
really.
He
Yeah, he's
wants you
been
to get
messaging.
on. Well, we can
Yeah.
end
So.
early if you want. I mean, you can go do that. We'll follow you over there. Oh, but that's a
Well,
radio
I
show,
thought he
huh?
want. All right. Hold on. Let me see.
We've been on for an hour and a half.
Yeah. Let me ask him what time he wants to start with.
Oh yeah. Baltimore.
Yeah.
B Lynn wants to let you know that earlier she accidentally like dropped her phone and she ended up kicking out a bunch of people. Like 3 or 4 people. She blocked them and deleted their messages. And...
Oh no. Well, stuff dealing with phones. I don't know my phone for anything. The phone is smarter than I am. You know, I mean, you just be surprised what your phone can do for you.
Well, I know I did that once. Daniel's done it once because you just barely, touch it a couple of times and bam,
Yeah.
gone.
Hey, B. Lynn said Daniel and Nikki are giving me one more. Yeah, give me one more
One
chance.
more chance.
I better yet, B. Lynn, I'm gonna just start fining you $100 every time something.
Oh.
Oh, there's always a way to make money, right?
Oh gosh.
Oh man, it's all good.
It is.
So yeah, once I get the link, if KB could send me the public viewing link, because what he does when he does his radio show, he broadcasts at Facebook Live.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
basically, it's through. He just messaged me. He said that they do start at 10 p.m. And
10 Eastern?
yeah, yeah, 10 o'clock Eastern because he's out of
Okay.
Virginia here. They
Okay.
broadcast out of Richmond, Virginia, and their radio show platform covers the whole country and other countries as well. They have a very awesome platform. So,
Well,
Well,
I have
cool.
a
Then
oh,
question
just
go
to
ahead,
ask
go
y'all.
ahead.
I have
I
a
was just
question
gonna
to ask
What's
y'all.
that?
go ahead.
Okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you all this. It's a very good question, and I've been thinking about. Anytime I have a question of my own, I always, I ask it to myself, and I think about it the the whole day. Like during the day, where do you think that Bigfoot would go? Do you think that because there's so many people in this world, so many people hiking, camping, or whatever? Where do you think that Bigfoot during the daytime would feel safe, when nobody would ever find it?
Well, in my opinion, I think they like to keep up on the higher ground where they could see anything coming. Anywhere where they have a good view where they could stay hidden. And because I know even though people believe they're nocturnal, I believe they're both. I believe but in some cases they can be more nocturnal than they are daytime. But and I'm going, the reason I say that because just from the activity and the experiences I have from both day and night, um, but yeah, most of my experiences happen more at night. But I will say I've had quite a bit happen during the daytime. So with that being said, I do believe they stay in the thick areas where they could be hidden and naturally covered. Um, then again, on some point, in some cases they could, if they have caves, they may stay hidden away in caves. I guess it depends on their lifestyle and how they live and hunt, and
Right.
it being such large, animals, they you got to consider they must have to be able to take in a fairly decent large protein intake. Um, because one of the things I just thought about doing, yeah, I know this is kind of random. I know this is random. It made me thought about the latest deer kill I found. And when I went to go pick up my trail cameras, there was a deer kill that happened right in front of where I had my camera set up at. And when I viewed my video footage of my cameras, I was like, the only thing I had on there, because I had found, I did find um, evidence of coyotes. Now the body wasn't there, but there was a massive clump of hair on the ground. The insides were laid out on the ground. There was a few random ribs that I found, and the part of the vertebrae, actually the hip bones where it starts the spine, and that was a small part I saw that, and where the spine and the rest of the body was gone.
Well,
And I got to thinking. I was like, all right, could the coyotes have drug it off? I investigated the area so carefully. I walked all the way around everywhere I found the body because everything was spread out. But I followed the signs where the ground was scuffed up, the best, and where I found the coyote tracks. But at the same time, I also found evidence of a bear that was there. There was massive bear scat there too. Of course, in the bear scat, it was total vegetation. And looking at the bear scat, there was some hairs in the bear scat where maybe the bear had a little, snack too. Um, so I got to thinking. I said, okay, coyotes did the number on the deer. I looked up. I was even looking up in trees. I was like, maybe could something have gone up in a tree, drug it up like a mountain lion. But I covered the area. I believe I covered the area pretty good looking for that body. And I got to thinking, I was okay, coyotes they might have started this, but what if a squatch came within, and snatched up the rest of it and took it off, went off with it? Because there's been reports where, you know, Sasquatch would take a deer and carry off with it. So maybe that's a possibility because there was tracks found in the area, that I believe were Sasquatch related. So that could be a possibility. Maybe something else much larger, it went off with the body. Because I felt like I should have found the body as much as I covered, as much ground as I covered. I should have found something more.
right.
So,
Hey, Daniel,
but
you got me thinking of something, and
yeah,
and I want you. There was a lady, a story about a homeless lady in San Antonio, Texas. That actually her and her boyfriend or her husband, I don't know who it was, that was with her, actually saw a Bigfoot carrying a deer and devouring it.
really,
And she even so she went and she called it. She did a 911 phone call. She did a 911 phone call and wanted to call animal control about this creature that he's seen, all hairy, walking on two legs, that was taking a deer and actually watched this animal devour a deer.
man,
Yeah, have you ever heard that?
that one there, no, not exactly that. No, I've always heard stories of people seeing a Sasquatch with a deer underneath their arm carrying it off, but that's about it.
Right, and
So,
she even talked about it. You know that it was eating the deer and everything like that. And what it was pretty wild and very believable to me because the husband or the boyfriend was over 6 foot tall, and he was saying they was bigger than he was, and just the tone of the voice and the interaction with the dispatcher of 911, it was just totally something different to hear.
right,
Talking about because they didn't know what it was, and Bigfoot had been seen in San Antonio quite a bit, down the hill countries up there, and they're just the very first time that it was actually came in through the outskirts of the city, taking a deer and taking it and eating it. So I thought that was pretty fascinating. But it's in if you type up homeless lady in San Antonio calls 911 Bigfoot story or something like that, you could actually hear the 911 call.
oh wow,
And
I
this happened,
remember that.
yeah, and this happened a few years ago. maybe like around 10, maybe between 12, between 15, 12, 10 years ago, around there, maybe a little bit earlier.
Nice.
So again, that to me, that is a story that is uh, to me it's credible, and because that story there's sometimes also a hairy creature carrying a deer and eating it up. And to me, it's like who can make up this kind of stuff.
Right. Hmm.
So if any of your viewers listening, if they want to listen to that lady 911 about Bigfoot in San Antonio, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be disappointed.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that most definitely. Well, I tell you what. It's 9:37 p.m. here East on my time. Um, and KB from RIP Paranormal Radio is wanting me to come on their show. They start at 10 p.m., which is here in about 23 minutes. And so, with that being said, what I'll do if you guys, it's going to be broadcast Facebook Live too. So once we do that, because I'll try to share it. I'll because I guess I'm gonna have to call in. He gave me a number. I got to call in, and then I'll share it on my. I got my laptop opened up. I'll share it so you guys can listen in, and you could interact. This you could interact on Facebook Live and ask questions. I'll try to watch that too, and depending on the questions he asks and any questions that get brought up on the live chat through the radio, I will try my best to respond to them as well. So, all the listeners and viewers, if you're on here, if you're on Facebook, uh, go check out RIP Big KB. His name's Ken Bullock, but it's RIP Radio. He's the rich. He's actually part of a paranormal investigation group. They also have their radio show. It's worldwide, and I've been on his radio show a few times before. I've been on numerous radio shows, and it's very awesome. And I can't keep track of them no more. But they're RP Paranormal Radio. They are a good platform, and it's very laid back, and they're it's pretty fun. So, but with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and end this tonight, and go ahead and find me in 20 minutes, and it'll be broadcast Facebook Live. So, all
Cool.
right. So, Nikki, Baltimore, you have any last things you guys want to share before we jump off?
No, and I'm going to try maybe if everything goes the way I have planned, I probably might do a Facebook live tomorrow night. There when we'll be camping.
Oh,
So as
okay.
soon as as soon as I
Cool.
learn how to use it, so know exactly what kind of buttons to push on my phone, I would definitely go out there and do a live shot. A live shot.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
That sounds cool.
Depending on what I'm doing, yeah, I'll definitely be on the lookout for that. I got a somewhat of a busy day tomorrow. Taking my daughter to do to get her prom dress, and um, what else? And her boyfriend guy is taking us out to dinner, and we're gonna go. Yeah, I
He's
need to.
taking you out to dinner.
Yeah,
That's
well,
so
he
funny.
wants to meet me. He thought
Yeah.
it'd be decent. He wants. He's doing. He sounds like he's trying to do the right thing. So
Uh-huh.
he wants. Because he's
So
already met
don't
my
take a
parents.
gun, okay? Just leave your gun at home.
And
Well,
don't talk.
usually I go pick up. Huh,
Yeah, just
Baltimore.
don't talk about how many times that you've been in prison for shooting some people and. Yeah.
Well, that was many years ago, but. But as the song goes, I shot the deputy, not the sheriff. Oh no, I shot the sheriff, but not the
Mm,
deputy. So,
you're crazy.
so, but Bigfoot Busters. Yes, that's the name of the radio show. R.I.P. Paranormal Talk Radio. That's the one I'll be on. So, yeah, everybody go look for that. If you guys are fans or you guys are new to that Paranormal Talk Radio, it's on Facebook. Um, he broadcasts live, and he will broadcast it through Facebook. So, absolutely. So, guys, thank you guys very much for tuning in tonight on another Friday night Bigfoot podcast on Bigfoot Zone ECBRO. You guys keep it squatchy, and we'll see you next time.